What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mr. Hexagon Gaming here. Now I'm here today. I'm doing a response video to yours truly, the most famous Nintendo YouTuber, Shokio. Now he made a video recently talking about how all this doom and gloom for Nintendo really isn't true, and how Sony is the real ones losing a lot of money, and they're the ones who are in worse shape than Nintendo. Now I'm trying to make this video as quick as possible. It's only a response video, so I'm gonna do my best with that. And well, first things first. Okay, Sony, they are losing a lot of money. They have lost a lot of money in the past. Mostly because the PS3 cost so much. It cost so much for them to make. They didn't profit from it. They only profited maybe 1 out of the 7 to 8 years that the system, was the main focus for Sony as a gaming system. And the Vita caused them to lose a massive amount of money as well. And just overall, the thing is, they had overall trouble with their system. Not just the fact that it cost so much to make, not just the fact that the Vita cost so much to make, a lot more than any Nintendo system. Sony they make more with their system, and it causes them to lose way more money when they make it. PS3 not only had that as an issue, but it also had the fact that it didn't really it didn't have a smooth existence entirely. It just completely year after year. They had the big hack in 2011. They lost a massive amount of money dealing with that, dealing with crazy people who wanted to sell their system, who were giving Sony the doom and gloom really big back in 2011. With that being done, and then they losing all this money because of that, and the system cost so much, and they didn't really profit at all. And they came out with the Vita, so it just got worse. But then he started talking about how Nintendo is doing so much better because they're making, or they were making a lot more money than Sony was when they're bigger. They're more of a profitable company, or they're a bigger company, worth more than Sony, and the stocks of Sony were dropping and all this. They have gotten better. Sony has gotten better, but the thing is, he was talking about how Sony is selling buildings, tearing down buildings, trying to save cost for their system, when it isn't 100% true, because Sony is not only did they had to get rid of property, so supposedly, but they also been buying things too. They also have been buying things. They've been purchasing studio after studio after studio over the last 7 years that they've been supposedly doing so bad. They've purchased Geico, they've purchased important services like that, and they focused on PlayStation Now, which all of these things, they're buying studios, and they're buying services, and they're buying all this. So really, they're not really just completely in need, is the way I feel as though he was making it out to be. Like they were just doing the worst of the worst of the worst. Sony isn't doing nowhere near that bad. PS4 very successful right now. The little bit of money they profit off that, the 10 to 20 bucks that they get off of a PS4, whatever, how much it is, along with their PlayStation Plus and the services they're offering now and what they have in the future, it outdoes the Wii U and Nintendo and even the 3DS. The PlayStation Now, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation Vita, all together as a whole, they have a better and brighter future than Nintendo. Bigger and better, brighter future. He was talking about how Sony fans, they talk about doom and gloom for Nintendo and even Microsoft, when even he's basically saying they're in last place financially, behind the Xbox, behind the Wii and the Wii U, behind Nintendo altogether. When it's just not true. It's also about the future, and that's the problem with the Wii U. It's not a future-proof system. That's why it has the doom and gloom. That's the big reason why it's so doom and gloom. It isn't just it's weaker. It isn't just the software, the third party and exclusives, which is all losing it right now. You know, he was talking about how Sony loses so much money when they give you more with their systems. The Wii U was $350, I think, $350 when it came out, $300 to $350 or something like that, and it profited. Nintendo systems, they profit because they don't give you as much as Sony gives you. They don't give you the Blu-ray. They don't give you the DVD. They don't give you they give you a 32 gigabyte hard drive, for crying out loud. I mean, they're gonna profit. They're gonna profit. The 3DS is nowhere near the match of the Vita. Nowhere near. It's just so far behind as far as overall system. If the Vita had a big game base like the 3DS does, it would destroy the 3DS. But it doesn't. The 3DS has way better games. And same thing with the PS3. You know, you get more for a smaller amount, more amount of money. The PS4 is only $400. A year ago, they were selling the Wii U for $350. So you're already kind of, you know, you're getting more for, like, if it had stayed the same price, you just pay extra $50 and you get way more worth than $50. You get the Blu-ray, you get the DVD, you get the better system, you get the more exclusive titles. You know, Sony is no slouch when it comes to exclusive titles. They really deliver more than Nintendo. Nintendo, you know, they talking about they have this game, they have that game, and you never see them. They take too long to come out. When they do come out, it's either, if it's not Mario or Zelda or Metroid, not even Metroid, but if it's Mario or Zelda or Smash Brothers or whatever, those are only games that get 9s, get 10s. If it's Wonderful 101 or Metroid hasn't been doing good, getting 7s and 8s and stuff lower than 7. I mean, it's just the Wii U isn't holding up for the future. That's the problem. Okay, it doesn't have a good future, supposedly, from the looks of it. Nintendo keeps throwing these games out there, but you can tell when a company is wounded. When a company is wounded, it's like they're telling you this. That we have an RPG we're working on. We have this we're working on. We don't care. No one cares because, you know, they're not showing anything. We know what's going to be popular, and it's not going to be what Nintendo. This random game that Nintendo is going to bring up a new IP. It's going to be The Legend of Zelda Return to Ocarina or something crazy. It's going to be what you expect it to be, and that's Nintendo's problem. No one knew Naughty Dog was going to make The Last of Us. No one knew they were going to make an M-rated game. No one knows what Santa Monica is going to do. No one knows what Sucker Punch is going to do after Infamous. That's just the problem with Nintendo. They have nothing to pull you in. And that's why I think Sony is still, even though they suffered financially in the past, it isn't as great as Shokio is putting out to be. It just isn't. They lost money. He was telling about how they're selling buildings and doing this and selling that, but they still are buying stuff. Shokio, they're buying things. They were buying Geica. They were buying companies out over the last 7 years, even less than that. 2-3 years ago, a year ago, they're buying companies. They're focused on. They have these indies that they have. You know, all of these companies that Sony's just racking up and building up, and in the end, if they were losing so much money, you know, Naughty Dog wouldn't be able to just sell on PlayStation and still profit the way Naughty Dog is profiting. Same thing for Santa Monica and Sucker Punch. They're profiting from Sony. That's the only system that their game's on. So I just want to put that out there. It isn't doom and gloom for Nintendo, and it definitely isn't doom and gloom for Sony. And as far as Nintendo being a more profitable company, like I said, you get less when you deal with the company. You have your Wii U. You got it when it first came out. You paid $350 about a little over a year, 13-14 months ago. I paid $400 for my PS4, and I got way more than you did. I got more than $50 more than what you did. However much the Wii U is right now, and they didn't put nothing in the Wii U. There's nothing in it to the cost up. PS3 is the Sony's first system that hurt them the way it did, followed by the Vita. That's the only system that hurt them in such a way. And, you know, Nintendo can quickly repeat what Sony did with the PS3. They can repeat it in a different way. They can, you know, it's not about what's happening now. It's about what's going to happen this E3, this Christmas. How is Nintendo going to survive as its power is limited every month? Every month the Wii U is out, it is surpassed by the PS4 and the Xbox One. The games get better, the games get bigger. Even with the microtransaction and the buggy games, they get better, and it won't get better on. I mean, the Wii U they'll get better, but eventually, you know, it's gonna kind of fall behind slowly how the Wii did. It's gonna get pushed back and back and back, and that's what's gonna happen with the Wii U. That's the real doom and gloom. The Wii U isn't done right now. It may come back from it. They may come out with a bunch of exclusives and this and that, but it's still, if Zelda came out tomorrow, you'll see the Wii U sales go up, but it won't continue. You know, I was talking to a friend the other day and they made a good point. That is like, you know, could Nintendo and Microsoft actually go through what Sony did with the PS3? Can they afford to lose as much as Sony did? Sony lost a lot. He lost a lot, the PS3. And I agree. I don't think Sony could come back from... I mean, I don't think Nintendo could... They would lose even more money from suffering the way that Sony did with the PS3. Being hacked, games, you know, suffering worse on the PlayStation 3, like Skyrim, Fallout. The lack of online features, you know, that's what Xbox did. It drew all these people in through its online service, and PS3 didn't have online that was as capable as Xbox, and it threw them back a lot. But that's it for this video. It's just a quick response. I think it's quick. I don't know how much time I've taken. Please do subscribe.